The first thing that I want to go over is this article from Stereo Gum talking about metal stadium class is less metal than ever. So basically, I think the article is kind of talking about how what is considered metal today is not really true metal. At least that's what I'm getting from the title. Just get this out of the way. On top, no metal isn't dead. If you look around the underground today, there are plenty of thriving pockets. Death metal, black metal, doom, thrash, sludge. Metal as a holistic genre of music is alive and well, but as a cultural force that extends beyond small clubs, filling stadiums and festival grounds worldwide and provoking the uninitiated masses with its wicked sounds and filth-mongering imagery. Metal, the sound, spirit, and culture is in a precarious state. The genre's long-standing A-listers feel less vital and less cool than ever. And the generation of bands who are slated to take their place are less metal and arguably less cool than at any previous era in the genre's history. LE Guy is using Sleep Token as the image. You know, Sleep Token, people argue, are they actually metal? I think they are. They're just like a progressive metal band. But there's Bad Omens. You can argue, are they really metal too? But they're kind of taking up the scene. But then we also got Spirit Box. Spirit Box is fucking metal as hell for sure. Bring Me the Horizon. You know, they're more like Linkin Park now, I guess. They're more of a rock band. But I do think that's the bigger acts in metal. They're obviously more accessible, but they're still metal. They're still screaming. They're still drop tune guitars. They still go heavy when they want to be. They just bring in a lot of dynamics. So I think that's what's pulling in people. Do you disagree with this too? This guy goes on to say Metallica and Megadeth are each more popular and more uninteresting than they've ever been. Safe, sterile, and flagrantly leveraging their brand values to disrupt the whiskey and NFT markets. Hey, I kind of agree with Eli over here. Slipknot are little more than a mass LLC at this point, shedding beloved members, getting sued by the state of a dead one, and barely keeping a lid on their creative bankruptcy. All while frontman Corey Taylor pursues one of the worst solo careers in recent memory. Hey, I'm agreeing with him. Yeah, so I'm agreeing with a lot of the sentiment. I think this person, Eli, is definitely reminiscing the older days of metal, but those days need to change. Like, it needs to evolve. Deftones are thriving, no doubt about that, but they're an anomaly among their peers. System of a Down hate each other and will likely never tour again. Rage Against the Machine probably hate each other and will never tour again. Marilyn Manson. So he keeps talking about all these old bands. Blah, 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 blah. Get to the point of the article. So who are the next bands positioned to become the next Lamb of God, the next Panteras, the next Slayers? Okay, now this is where we get to the point of the article. In 2024, that's looking like Sleep Token, Bad Omens, and Spirit Box, the three biggest metal bands that break out in the 2020s. Here we go. Before we read on, the thing is, Sleep Token and Bad Omens, sure, they're not the most metal sounding bands. They're genre fluid. Like Sleep Token is a progressive metal band. I saw a video from these content creators where they call them progressing metal because they're not your typical progressive metal band. They don't sound anything like Dream Theater.
So you want to know if Sleep Token is real metal? Apparently I'm the guy to make these decisions now. Everything I say is correct, don't question it. Sleep Token is progressing metal. No, I don't mean progressive metal. I literally mean they're progressing metal in so many different directions. They've got the metal community glitching through the map. I for one think it's a good direction, opening doors to even more new sounds for metal elitists to shit on. Yeah, they've got some full-on pop R&B trap beat songs. Then right when you're least expecting it to take a sharp-ass 90-degree turn right into a wall of... So yeah, Sleep Token is progressing metal. If that's not a term yet, I'm coining it right now. Progressing metal. Everything I say is correct.
But I feel like progressive metal is more than just 10-minute long songs with arpeggios and all this technicality. Progressive metal is experimentation, is just taking these songs on a journey. And Sleep Token has a lot of metal elements. For people who say Sleep Token is not metal, I completely disagree because the metal elements in their music is way too apparent and strong for them to not be considered metal. They're just way more than that. They're a rock band. They're also a pop band. They're an R&B band. They're just very, very different. Bad Omens for sure started off as metalcore, but with the death of Peace of Mind, they leaned more into just like rock, post-hardcore, with some metalcore elements. They tend to leave like the bridge for like a breakdown or something. But Artificial Suicide's a fucking metal banger. So, and Motionless White have moved out of gothic metalcore and into being Godsmack for Tim Burns. That's pretty good. Of all the other metalcore and deathcore bands who made blimps on the radar in the 2010s, the only other act whose name now reaches the tops of Metal Fest flyers are Fallen Reverse, the dark horses of modern metal. Again, Fallen Reverse, they're not, I wouldn't consider them metal. Fallen Reverse is not a metal band. I would say they're just more of a rock band. Undeniable that the contemporary state of big room metal is less connected to metal proper than it's ever been. Why? Why? Because they have some pop ideas? First of all, pop wasn't as important in the 70s as it is now. Pretty much the radio is all like pop music in some sort of like fashion. Whether it's actual pop music or even like indie bands, like indie rock bands, they all follow pop structures. That's just the sound of music today. So metal, they're just kind of following the trends. Yes, it's gone a little bit more poppy, but it still has metal elements. And before I forget, you know one thing that I really find annoying about metal, and maybe the difference between metal and rock, is that metal, we don't really call old bands like Metallica or Megadeth classic metal. Instead, we call bands today modern metal. But in rock, we use the word classic rock all the time to describe like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd or something. But we don't use modern rock to describe Foo Fighters or something. That goes to like the elitism and the gatekeeping in metal. But the ties that bind these new age metal heroes to metal's tradition of killer riffs, abrasive vocals, and provocative imagery feel looser than they've ever been. Yeah, because does metal always need to have provocative imagery? I don't agree with the imagery. Does it always need to be satanic? Bands were to do that today, I find it cringy. I think there's character to like the old classic metal bands, like, but if they were to do it today, it would seem so gimmicky. It's fucking evolved. It doesn't need that kind of imagery. And you can argue Sleep Token kind of has that look a little bit. I think the problem with Sleep Token, but it's also not really a problem too, because it's how they blew up, is their identity. The lore can be a little bit cringy. The way that they talk about their merch, like shirts have depleted, be hastily upon receiving blessings of the deity or something. Like they talk so cheesy. I get it. So it could be really off-putting to people who are not into the band, but it's how they blew up too. It's how these bands stand out, because you can go to any other band in the scene right now and they're all just dressed like regular dudes. I think there's something that needs to be said about costumes or the rock star look that really helps identify and sell the band's image that they're bigger than they are. I wish they wouldn't do the lore crap, but that's just me. I love their music though. I should say lore. Yeah, like I like the lyrical content. I think the lyrics of Sleep Token are fucking amazing. The lore, like, and how they describe themselves is a little bit more on the cheesy side for me, but I love the lyrics. How long is this fucking article? Holy shit. Oh my God, he keeps on going. Oh my God, guys, I had no idea that this article was this fucking long. Look, let's just go over the bands that we definitely talk about in this community a lot. Indeed, one major takeaway about this new crop, Sleep Token, Bring the Rise, and Bad Omens, is that metal's most popular feature is no longer the riff, but the breakdown. Hell yeah! Bands like Killswitch Engage, Under Oath, Shadows Fall, As They Lay Dying, God Forbid, and countless others were popularizing a style of music that fused riffy melodic death metal with chuggy metallic hardcore. These bands, Killswitch Engage, Shadows Fall, As They Lay Dying, those bands, I would argue, are true metalcore. In a way, Sleep Token, Bring the Rise, and Bad Omens, are they really metalcore? I don't know. Are they really metal? I don't know. Are they really rock? I don't know. We need a new genre maybe. Maybe it's just fucking modern metal. That's what it is. It's just fucking modern metal. And then the stuff that was back then is just classic metal. Killswitch Engage entered the Grammy class, was ballads, Under Oath nabbed emo teens, and Avenged Sevenfold, by far the biggest band ever to emerge from metalcore, became Metallica's by dropping all traces of metalcore on 2005's Guns N' Roses speed metal opposite City of Evil. So that's the thing. Metal, I don't think, if it's going to be true essence at its core, just heavy, pissed off music, I don't think that's ever going to be commercially extremely successful. It's when these bands deviate and do variations to their sound, pull in different genre ideas, whether it's from pop or whether it's from R&B, or maybe like Avenged Sevenfold doing a Guns N' Roses kind of style to City of Evil. But that's how you bring in these fans, and then you need these entry-level bands. By the turn of the 2010s, a new wave of MySpace-fueled metalcore bands were transforming the genre into sleeker, simpler, poppier configurations. Groups like Asking Alexandria, Of Mice and Men, and Attack Attack, sanding down the thrashiness of metalcore riffage and made taunt synchronized breakdowns the main payoff of their songs. Look, a good song is when they have a breakdown and awesome riffs. Boundaries. Look, he's going over the history of the bands that we all know. I need to get to the main argument of this article, because he keeps on going. Say what you want about Bring the Horizon's ambitious pop, electro, punk, metal crossovers. At least they know how to write a coherent song. Yeah, this guy seems like he knows what he's talking about. So I'm trying to understand what his problem is. Sleep Token's music feels so meticulously poured over in style. Oh, this is just a Sleep Token hater. Like that. There we go. What are you guys saying so far? Modern metal is overproduced because all other modern music is. It's just adapting to the times. I agree. Like metal is just adapting to the current trends, just like every other genre of music. The songs on Take Me Back to Eden, undoubtedly the sempiternal or white pony of 2020's metal in terms of seismic impact, sound tailor-made for the era of reaction videos. This guy's coming at me. He's coming at me now. Sleep Token have written their music solely for reaction videos. As a reactor myself, I completely disagree with this sentiment. Now, a lot of bands, I do feel like they write music for reaction content. A lot of deathcore bands are guilty of it, trying to do the most filthy breakdown. You can sense it, right? When they just go disgustingly heavy, or when the music video is really shocking, then for sure. Sleep Token, their music, what made them so huge is just Vessel's unwillingness to just write whatever the fuck he wants. Yeah, if you've been following the band since like the EPs, Take Me Back to Eden is not that different. Basically, it's just, you know, lighter moments with these big heavy drops and these shocking breakdowns. But that was, Sleep Token was writing that music before reaction videos were even, or metal reaction videos were even that popular. The average Sleep Token track is 75% of stately pop rock, often not undergirded by stomp clamp drums or department store trap beats and spirits with. This is literally just a fucking Anthony Fantano review, isn't it? Yeah, I get it. You don't like the sound of the music. Lots of people don't, but they're still fucking metal. They're still fucking metal. It's just a new wave of metal. It's the only way for this scene to evolve. Like, there's no way thrash Metallica riffs will do well and get radio airplay today. Sleep Token is also blown up because metal, I've said it many times, but it's primarily just like a male dominant genre. Like, it's a sausage fest here. And so the fact that we have bands like Sleep Token and Bad Omens who have like some sort of sex appeal to their music, aka cum metal, that I always joke about, but it's so important because all the other genres have that, especially pop music. Pop music is so sexual with its lyrics, and a lot of metalheads find that cringy, and sometimes lyrics in pop music could be really cringy, but girls love that shit. And that's why girls are loving Sleep Token and Bad Omens, and it's helping blow these bands up and putting metal on the masses, because half of the world is now paying attention to metal again, which we really, really need. Go to a concert and friggin' there's only like 2% of the crowd is like chicks. See? Cat Lady can speak for the ladies. Okay. I didn't know what we were getting with this article. I thought he was going to be talking about like what constitutes as modern metal, but this is just a Sleep Token hate article. The quality of their songwriting aside, what's most striking about Sleep Token is that so much of their music feels like it only qualifies as metal on a technicality. The is it or isn't it metal meta-ness that Ghost and Bring the Rise and fiddle with is taken to its most extreme precipice, to where Sleep Token almost feel like they're using metal aesthetics inherently extremity solely to give their shimmering pop an alternative veneer. This article's annoying. Look, I value other people's opinions. It just is the most surface level Sleep Token hater. You can always tell when someone's not into Sleep Token because they're always just judging Take Me Back to Eden. They're always focusing on the R&B and the pop stuff. But if you go back to Sundowning, which a lot of us in the community are familiar with and listened to before Sleep Token blew up, it obviously had a lot of pop, but it was more atmospheric rock metal, obviously with pop hooks too. But it was just a different vibe. And Take Me Back to Eden is what the Sleep Token fans wanted from that band to change their songwriting. It got more genre fluid and just bending and just cool. And now the band blew up, and now they're not fucking metal because they have R&B sections. That's not metal music. How much more is this guy going? Look, maybe he's getting to the point now. Throughout all of metal's history, a major metal band's most popular song is typically either a ballad or one that leans more rock than metal. Slipknot's Duality, Metallica's Nothing Else Matters, Deftones' Change. What's novel to this moment isn't that Bad Omens. Sleep Token and Spirit Box's most popular songs happen to be their catchiest ones. Is that the totality of their sounds, not just their singles, but album cuts too, are directly dialed into major label pop, and they're explicitly taking influence from some of the most mainstream non-metal pop singers of the day. It would be like if Metallica were folding Michael Jackson parts into the Black Album, or Slipknot, blah, 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 at the way Bad Omens, Sleep Token, and Spirit Box explicitly embrace A-list pop. So why is it a bad thing? Like, my question is, why is it a bad thing that Bad Omen, Sleep Token, Spirit Box are influenced by pop music? Why is that a bad thing? Again, I'll reiterate the fact that they're just keeping up with the trends. And if metal was just doing tremolo picking, blast beats, and double kicks, that's not going to be what the trends are. You literally, for any form of arts, you have to keep up with the trends, or you're going to, even as a content creator, you have to keep up with the trends. Am I going to be doing reactions forever? Probably not. I'm going to have to follow or see what the next steps in content creation are, but you just have to adapt to the trends. And if metal was doing the same thing all the time back during the Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Slipknot days, like, it won't be commercially viable because that's not what's trendy right now. What's trendy is still pop music. Pop music is so fucking massive, and it still is. All right. Let's finish this off. The thread connecting this entire new generation of bands from Ghost and Bring the Horizon to Sleep Token and our last night is that they all use metal more like a signifier than an artistic framework. They're not invigorated by playing the fastest beats, training the tastiest soul, chugging the gnarliest breakdown, or screaming the most. You know what's funny though? Sleep Token, if you really dive deep, there's videos of Vessel riffing Animals as leaders on piano. The dude can fucking shred on piano. Bring the Horizon. Go back to the deathcore days. Arpeggios and sweep picking. Spirit Box with I Wrestled a Bear once, or even the early Spirit Box EPs, was very technical playing. They can fucking play that shit. But that's not what makes a song good. Don't get me wrong though, I fucking love it. I love hearing all these technical kind of musicianship, but I understand that's also not the appeal and what sells a song. Instead, they're enamored by the mainstream and are adopting its cultural products to shape the way they sound, look, and transmit feelings through their art. Optimists see their methods as a necessary creative overhaul of a genre that's already exhausted its own appeals. The heaviest, fastest, nastiest metal songs have already been written, and I don't know. I think there's ways to make metal heavier and nastier. Look at Lawrence Shore to the Hellfire, right? That was shocking, and now bands are replicating that, but what's the next step in heavies? So I don't agree with this. I think there's always ways to make things heavy. We just don't know it yet. We haven't heard it. Until we hear it, we'll be like, oh shit, that's how you make a song really heavy and uniquely heavy again. If that's your point of view, reluctantly or otherwise, then what does it all mean for metal's musical, spiritual, and aesthetic future? Maybe it's simply that this genre has had its time circle pitting in stadiums, and once Metallica hit the retirement homes and Slipknot sell their likeness to venture capitalists, then metal will be reduced to the small club circuit where it solely exists as a true subculture. Or maybe this is just particularly depressing stage in the endless... Depressing stage? Fucking... Grow up, buddy. In this endlessly spinning cultural cycle, and one day metal in its true or at least truer form will circle back into vogue with enough engagement to fill stadiums again via riffs instead of pop hooks. But for the foreseeable future, we're stuck with what we've got. So maybe we should all just take a page out of Avenged Sevenfold's book. If we binge on DMT, get weirdly into Camus in our early 40s, and rock out on the blockchain, then some of this fucking bullshit might actually sound all right. Eli, why are you so angry? Who hurt you? Who hurt you, buddy? I'm not going to lie. He looks like a gatekeeper. He's got a gatekeeper look. Like, I don't know how to explain it. He looks like one of those people that anytime you're trying to talk and you get the slightest thing wrong, he'll be like, actually. To sum it up, this guy at least understands what needs to happen. He just doesn't agree with what's happening. This was literally just word vomit. This was a hate article because he just hates what modern metal is. And modern metal, again, it's not thrashy riffs. It's not tremolo picking. It's not that sound. That sound to me is classic metal. Like, metal needs to evolve. I don't know how else to explain it, that if it's borrowing ideas from what's currently trendy, then fucking go for it. And yes, the main singles to these bands, Spirit Box, Jaded, Bad Omens with Just Pretend, Sleep Token with The Summoning? I feel like that band's anomaly, right? They don't even have a main single. And The Summoning being their number one song? Okay. So this song, it's definitely not metal. Oh, what is this pop shit? Ooh, get that pop away from here. It sounds like Lady Gaga. The fact that this is like the #1 metal song right now is the coolest fucking thing. It shows that metal is in a very healthy state and metal is evolving. It is changing. It is bringing new sounds and new ideas. Yes, it's bringing ideas from the pop world. Pop. Like Sleep Token, the summoning is already doing what bands like Between the Bear to Me have been fucking doing, which is bringing other genres. That's the best thing about metal music. It's why it's my favorite genre of music, is that it takes ideas from any genre and puts it into metal. That's what I love. Between the Bear to Me, for example, is constantly changing its ideas, trying jazz, trying polka sometimes too. Like, that's what makes metal such an accessible and exciting genre. And the fact that Sleep Token blew up through something like this is not them just keeping up with the trends, but it's them doing what metal has been doing for the longest time. Metal has always been one of the most progressive genres out there. Didn't this whole metal is getting ruined thing happen back in the day with the birth of new metal? Yep. Very, very good point. That's the same thing that happened. Metal elitists said the same thing back then. They were saying Limp Bizkit were not real metal because they're introducing rap elements. That was when rap was really taking off into the mainstream too. So as soon as metal follows what's trendy and finds commercially successful, you're going to have these gatekeepers hold it back and be like, oh, this isn't fucking metal. No, the metal that you were listening to and you love is classic metal. It's still there, but the genre needs to evolve.